told you we'd be back. It was a promise, not a threat, Dave. Hey, it's Man Seeks Adventure. I'm Brad Fanshaw, and with me is Diamond Dave Marek. So that's right. That's in case he forgets. So everybody,
in case I forget to drink beer, I got my Pabst Blue Ribbon on.
Nice. Hey, before we get going, Dave, I want to just tell everybody thank you so much, because our last couple of episodes and our travel videos that we've put up have literally exploded. It is amazing that you guys are going in, you're going deep. And thanks to all the new countries, Dave, we had a just virtual buttload of listeners in Great Britain, Japan, Australia, and then as it breaks down, I start looking at it, Russia, and I mean, a lot of countries that I've never seen pop up before. And so thank you very much. We appreciate that. And hey, man, keep telling everybody about it. Keep clicking those likes and go to iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating. Give us a comment and be sure to follow us. That helps us so much you cannot understand.
Follow us, but follow us on
iTunes.
Yeah, don't follow us.
Yeah, don't follow us.
You wouldn't be able to handle it.
You know, then we'd be thinking we have real fans, and you know,
yeah,
like our heads would get big. But, hey, so we have a great show lined up today because we're going to go deep on a couple of subjects. And you know, the very first thing I want to say is, well, no, I can't, because I just said that the last time was the very first thing, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's all good though.
The
second time.
It's the second first thing that I'm going to say is that we had an earthquake here in Los Angeles last night. Did you feel that, puppy?
You're shaking. No, I didn't feel it at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Almost a 5.0. It was like a 4.8.
It was a good boom, though. You know, earthquakes, they're different. Some roll, some rock. But this one was this was kind of like the Whittier quake, where it's like a boom. And you're like, whoa, dude. And then it kind of rolls. But yeah.
That's interesting, because now I'm an hour and 20 minutes south of you in Orange County. And down here, we felt a rumble. It was like a rumble. It was coming, and then it kept going, and then it kind of dissipated and went away.
Yeah, that's the roll. But yeah.
Folks out here, when we have one of those, you always wonder, is this the one?
Yeah.
You know?
Or if you sit there for about 10 minutes going, is something else coming?
Oh, yeah. That's
then nothing.
And you're wondering where I have an alert on my phone. It pops up and it tells me, you know, where it was and how deep it was and all that kind of stuff.
But you look at that alert and there were like 12 yesterday, like, you know, around 1 or 1.5.
Oh,
the last month has been 40, you know, and you go,
yeah.
So it's, you know, Japan has like 2,000 a day in Tokyo.
Now,
they're
Dave,
all small, but you know,
we're having earthquakes, but you still can't go to a bar and have a cocktail, sit down and have a meal, anything at a restaurant inside or anything like that yet.
I know it's earth shaking.
It's earth shaking. I love that.
I mean, let me say it this way. It's, you know, we're having earthquakes, we're having fires, and you still can't go and drink at a bar unless you know somebody named Dave.
Right.
Anyway.
It's like getting my haircut. I knew the owner and we made arrangements, but that's not for everybody. Let's talk in general wide terms here, because the governor and the mayor of Los Angeles and the governor of the state of California have still refused to open things up. We look around the country. I talk to people, and I'm sure you do as well, and other people have virtually opened up. I was
there.
They're going out to dinner.
Atlanta's like just status quo. I can tell you that, you know, the whole haircutting thing, you know, when they reopened. So my girl, she was telling me that they can serve alcohol. They can give you a glass of wine while you're being like cut, and now they can't. And they go,
Really?
yeah. And I go, why not? And they go,
Oh, because you have to take your
bars are
mask off.
well, I guess, but the bars are closed, so they can't serve alcohol. You're like,
Wow.
okay, that's wrong.
No, that's crazy. And you know what else is wrong? Is keeping the drink of the day any longer, because I'm looking at it, I'm seeing the rock melt,
Okay.
and I'm
Drink
going, we gotta say, drink of the day. It is
Today.
of the day. Right here, Dave. I'm sorry that you're not down here. The bar is open at the Man Seeks Adventure studio.
I may have to make a road trip. All right, next show we'll do there.
Let me tell you what we have here.
But then people can't enjoy our video that way.
That's right. But we have the slow burn. And you're going to have to watch the video on this one. The slow burn has such a good aromatic smell.
Wait a minute. Let me go. I'll just open my back door because it's burning out there.
Yes. Have all the smoke and ash.
It's actually a fast burn out there.
But I used Hudson's Baby Bourbon, about 2 ounces of it. And as you'll see on the video, pardon me?
They make bourbon out of babies?
Yes, they do. It's the best. Then a few splashes of bitters. Then here's the secret. I go to the grocery store and I get this stuff that is called ice, sparkling ice flavored water. It's carbonated.
Yeah, I know those.
Yeah.
That's Leah Pruitt.
I've used them in a previous cocktail here on the show. Is that Leah Pruitt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the lemon lime in here, and then we mix all that up on the rocks. But before we pour it in the glass, we take a sprig of this rosemary and we burn it with a lighter. We get it toasty, we get it burnt, we get it smoking. We put it in the glass and then pour the mixed cocktail over it. Dude, it comes through.
Don't try this at home.
It is good, and you're missing out.
I am. I got to run out and get some rosemary out of it. I got a lot of rosemary.
That is good. Oh, I picked this rosemary right out of my backyard.
I can smell it.
Mm.
So, smell it. Yeah. If I keep looking away, it's because Le Mans is on, and I'm sneaking peeks of it.
But everyone, as always, there's a great video that'll be posted to go with this show on our YouTube page, where if you haven't been there, you should check it out, as well as on our Instagram. We give you a little tease on there. But go to our YouTube page and check it out, and on our website. We always put it up on our website at manseeksadventure.com. But enough of that.
It's the Man Seeks Adventure channel.
That's right. Dave, so seriously, let's talk about travel. You've been doing some travel. I've done a little bit. I have not flown since COVID. You have.
You pulled a boat.
What's that?
You pulled a boat.
Yeah, I pulled a boat. I've been on some journeys. But what I want to talk about is you still can't drink. You still can't eat in California. It's very limited in other parts of the country because the pandemic is still happening. It's still, going through, and we keep hearing about flare-ups all the time. What are your thoughts, Dave, on travel? What changed? What did you drastically see? And what did you say was overblown?
Well, it was regional for sure, because, in LAX, you're wearing masks. Everybody's wearing masks, and they're social distance. No lounges are open, nothing. No bars are open, and there's food, but it's limited. And then you get on the plane, and we're separated. I was in Delta One, and there were, what is there, like 10, maybe 30 seats in the big plane. It's the Atlanta flight. Yeah. So there's only 30 seats, but there was maybe 10 people in Delta One, and because they dictated that, so you're separated. And the cool thing is, I don't want to get the crew in trouble, but they were all the crew that flies to Tokyo. They're like, Dad! So I was getting like stuff that most people don't. But anyway, but then you land in Atlanta and Ohio and Detroit, and they're all just kind of, they've had it. You could tell people have had it. We're either gonna get it or we're not.
And the airports that you flew through,
like,
are they dead?
No, it was packed.
They're packed.
It was packed, and all the bars were open. Yeah, it was like,
And
whoa.
that
It's
was
like a
where?
football game.
That was where? Atlanta and
Atlanta.
Detroit?
Atlanta is like Detroit's half, but Atlanta, I swear, it was like a Saturday football day for, you know, like Georgia was playing or something, and it was just packed with people. I was like, oh my god, huh? So I had a couple beers. I got back on the plane.
But even in first class on the planes, they're limiting what you can get. Now you said you had some
Yeah.
extras, but
Well, they give you.
but in general,
they give you a
it's
snack
like
box.
beer and wine, no
Yeah,
mixed.
snack box.
Yeah.
No, there's no mixed. There's not even beer or wine. It's really like bottle of water and because they don't do a beverage service, they just bring it to you. But and then it's like a snack box that's in a plastic bag. Everything's in a plastic baggie, which I get. I mean, it's cool. I wouldn't want to complain. Go, dude, they were just walking down the thing with
Yeah.
food for everybody. Of course.
And the flight attendants are wearing hazmat outfits, right?
They're pretty. They wear masks and they're pretty careful, I guess would be the word. They wear gloves. Everybody's wearing gloves, but you wear gloves once and then you're touching everything and your gloves are your hands. So.
I mean, here's the thing, is that love it, hate it, if you believe in it or you don't believe in it. If we hear all the people that say, oh, this is political, it's motivated, but I've known people that have passed away from it. I've known people that have been in the hospital, and
it's a hope till you die.
Yeah, it's real, and so you do have to be, and especially like I have an elderly parent that's staying with me, and I got to watch out for her.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that I think that flying can be done the way they're doing it, as long as people, at the end of the day, if you don't believe in it, it doesn't matter. You still should mask up, because masking is for other people. It's not for yourself anyway. So,
that's right.
Show some balls, do it, and mask up.
You know what? I mean, you've seen me. It's a fashion statement. I've got my Van Halen Eddie guitar stripe. I've got all these masks, and it's starting to become like, dude, I can show fashion sense and it matches my watch, all that stuff, and play the game. I mean, I don't want people to get sick from me. I do think that with all things, I fly so much that I'm sure I'm immune to everything because I've been exposed to everything. So I think if you got little doses of it along the way, maybe it's better. But then this is a weird virus that it attacks certain things. It seems to know where.
It almost seems engineered.
Yeah. That's our next show.
Yes, but no, I think that travel, eating out is so dramatically different in California than it is everywhere else in the country, with some exceptions. There's, I think New York is still extremely limited, but we are seeing some much higher limitations on us.
I know Tokyo has reopened more or less, because the bars were open, but they were open till like 10, which is unheard of because they stay open all night.
Yeah.
And they've relaxed that where they can open late now, but you still have to quarantine. If I go, I have to quarantine. I did find out an interesting thing is that a buddy of mine's from Hawaii, and if we fly to Hawaii, we have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, 14 days. Yeah.
Stupid. So, but Japan has a bubble to fly to Honolulu, Narita to Honolulu, and you don't have to quarantine. So I'm thinking about flying to Narita and getting on the plane to Honolulu and not quarantine.
Little bit of the long way there, Dave.
I don't care.
But it works.
You know me. People keep asking me, what is it like for you? Because this is just like the opposite of what you do. Every night 10 bars, whatever. And I go, I am like a caged animal.
No, wait a minute. I want to ask you something. So you'd spend 14 hours on the plane versus 14 days in quarantine, but you wouldn't get in your car and drive down to the studio.
No, I would. No. I didn't want to. And Orange, the circle's kind of open, isn't it? I mean, it's still eating outside al fresco.
Yeah, it's all outside. Yeah.
But you can still, I mean, I do.
And when it's smoky and 100 degrees, I'm not really into eating outside, you know?
Yeah, well, I laugh because I see even LA, like Hollywood or around, Glendale has the al fresco dining. And you think, well, American ingenuity for sure, but everything's closed. You can't eat inside. Everybody's eating outside and it's packed. It's like,
oh, I
you
know.
gotta be inside. You're like,
what's the difference, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's like,
it's strange. However, I did find something that was quite interesting that Google is putting out, and they've collected data sets on pretty much anywhere in the world that you would want to go. And we'll post a link on our website for this. It'll be in the show notes because these data sets are really cool. They show you what you put in a location and it tells you what's going on there. You can see what's happening as far as outbreaks or what are their rules and regulations. It's quite interesting. Did you visit that site?
Yeah. Because I looked at British Columbia thinking maybe I'll go to Vancouver. And I mean, because Canada, they got it, they're rocking, man.
Well, I used it because next month I'm going to go over to Barrett-Jackson. They're having their first auction this year,
right? And
in Scottsdale. So I put in Scottsdale, and you know what? Arizona's pretty open. I mean, it's you know what? Car and go to a restaurant.
Well, and I think that for Barrett-Jackson, it's not that big a deal because if you go and then he does it with a mask, it's, you're not going to understand it anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Even Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction, for those that don't know, the collector car auction, they're even limiting it. Social distancing, masks are required. There, I mean, a lot of stuff.
You have to do the optics. You got to do that.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes, to see how it is, and I'm looking forward to it in October.
Yeah, I bet.
Dave,
you're also a cage animal.
Where would you consider traveling right now? I mean, you said Hawaii. Where else would you go right now with the restrictions that they have? Where would you go in a drop of a hat?
I wouldn't. I'll tell you where I won't go is Vegas, because everybody I know that's gone to Vegas has said don't, because nothing's open and it's like it's like stupid.
There's no shows. There's no bars.
Right.
There's no strip clubs open.
Yeah, so forget it. I'll just open a strip club in my house. Anyway, I would probably go to like up north, up the coast, because you could go Santa Barbara and sneak around there because some things are open there, and then I'd try and find the logical thing is like go to Denver or somewhere where it's a drive but it's open or something like that. But I don't need. I want to go where I kind of know the people, which is everywhere, of course, but also familiar and I can get home fast and whatever.
Well, I've been thinking about.
I just need to fly. I need to fly to everywhere.
See, I got a whole different mindset. I've been thinking about renting like some kind of SUV and going up to like, the Painted Desert or, Moab or something like that.
I'm already alone. I don't need to.
No, but dude, it's different.
I get it.
Sitting there with a cocktail, roasting a weenie over a campfire and looking at the stars. I mean, come on.
And I'll go glamping with you.
And then come home and go to the bar or stop at all the cities along the way.
Well, that's what I want to do. The thing is, you and I both, if we drove to, let's say we said, hey, let's go up, let's drive to Sacramento, but take the 99 instead of I-5.
Right.
And stop at every bar. That's my dream, but you can't do it right now.
Well, Ben from Elvis Monroe, our friends in the band Elvis Monroe, Ben had invited me to Vegas, and I was kind of like, there's really nothing going on there. But one thing I did like is he goes, take the back route, go up through Joshua Tree, and And I mean, that'd be cool.
No,
That,
cool.
that would be a great drive.
The drive is beautiful, and you're behind Yosemite, and you can go in the back way and that stuff. But to me, being able to stop at the Dewdrop Inn all the way up, and go,
Right.
hey.
If there's nothing open, it's not.
Because I've had friends of mine that guaranteed. One time I did foothill all the way out to the 15 and stopped at every bar. I had a friend of mine driving, and he said he swears to God we stopped in like San Dimas and walked into a bar that we've never seen, and the guy goes, Dave! And it was somebody I knew. And it was like, hey. So it'd just be fun. But yeah, until stuff opens, it's kind of, I don't feel, it's almost lonely. You go in, because I have places I can go. And then you go in and there's like two people and you're able to have a beer, and it's like, I'm at a bar, shit. And this is stupid because there's nobody here. It's like, what's the point? So yeah.
Well, I mean, until we can do that, people have to find other things to do.
Yeah.
And I know both of us we're collectors. We love gathering items, things that interest us, things that are maybe design influenced, and we both go down that same route. I'm sure we have different ideas on what's cool to collect, but collecting's a thing, and it's something that both of us do. But some people take it to extremes, man. I mean, I saw this week. Now, let me set this up for everyone. If you remember Biggie Smalls, the rapper, and he had that famous poster where everything was posterized, and he was sitting there.
He had it behind his desk.
And what's that?
He had it behind his desk.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a crown on his head. And now, I got to admit, I never knew that was a plastic crown from like a
Burger King.
No, not a Burger King, but like some
novelty shop.
Dress up shop. Yeah, novelty shop.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink.
Well, because where do you get a real crown? I mean, honestly.
You don't have one?
I sure don't.
Oh, man. Come on.
I have a plastic one. I just bought it. Sotheby's.
But, yeah, there you go. So, when Biggie was shot and killed, that's been bannered around. And it happened right out here outside the Peterson Museum, the Automotive Museum,
right.
After a party.
Out of the parking lot.
Yeah. And so Biggie has this legendary status linked to Tupac and to, who am I forgetting here, Dave?
Tupac.
I say Tupac. Wow, a little too much of this.
That's a new guy, Tupac. You're on fire, man. No,
it's a slow burn.
It is, dude.
So no,
part of that whole thing.
I just showed that I'm just a real aficionado on music.
Snoop Dogg is part of that too. So
what?
Tupac and Snoop Dogg and Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, but who's the one I'm trying to think of that went just global? His own record album, a Puff Daddy. Thank you. So all those guys. But anyways, back to Biggie. So they decide, Sotheby's says, hey, we're going to do some of these famous pieces of jewelry and like that. And what would be the crown jewel of that would be that plastic crown that Biggie Smalls wore on that poster. So
the poster is why, it's just.
Oh, yeah. It's iconic.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally it, right?
And what's amazing is there was a pendant that belonged to another artist, and it went for $35,000, and it was full of real jewels.
Yeah.
And real gold.
Everything's real. It's like,
yeah. And Biggie's was a pre-auction estimate of $200,000 to $300,000.
Which when they did that, you're like, are you kidding?
I know. It's like, whoa. And think of the car you could have for that. And well, it went for just shy of, what did it go for, Dave? Go ahead. $600,000. Now,
What?
I mean, somebody paid that much for a plastic crown because it was signed by Biggie and it was worn by Biggie and it's part of that iconic poster.
Well,
That is what a collector does.
Well, they said that Fab Five Freddy, he's mentioned in Blondie's song, Fab Five Freddy.
Yeah, Fab Five Freddy.
Literally, yeah.
He's a friend of mine.
Yeah, me too. His ring sold for 35 grand. So you think, and that's actual gold or something. It's like a diamond ring with MTV on it. You go, 600 grand for a plastic crown because you can walk around with it tilted on your head this way. And
I think we should recreate that and do it with you, Dave.
We should do that. Because I kind of did it at Music Cares where I sat on the guitar throne. And like blessed everybody. So maybe I could.
Hey, so along that lines, that just shows the enthusiasm of some collectors. We see it at car auctions. We see, the guys that they've done it with cars I've sold where two guys decide they have to have that car. Thank goodness it was one of mine. And I literally sold a car at Barrett Jackson once. I had offered to a friend of mine for $30,000. He passed. I put it in the auction, and I got $125,000.
There you go.
Because
somebody wants something.
Yeah.
When you're there, it's the excitement of it, and you're like, yeah, I gotta win. Yeah. It's like,
and there's that collectability, the hope that they have a piece of that famous person, like Biggie Smalls or.
Yeah, maybe it was something that they grew up with and knew, and that's what your car. Somebody went, oh, I always wanted that car, like that.
Yeah, and well, we've seen it at auctions with look at another great contemporary one is Steve McQueen. Anything Steve McQueen.
Yeah. I do
his Rolex, his Daytona went for I think it went for $600,000, which was a record. And I actually got to bid on behalf of my friend Adam Carolla for Steve McQueen's Porsche, or Paul Newman's Porsche, and that was over $5 million. And that was because of Le Mans and the winning ways of the car and the association.
Yeah, the provenance of that car is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it has. It used to be the Apple car as well, and the Hawaiian Tropic. And so.
And Paul Newman drove it. And I digress, but speaking of crowns, I was watching The White Queen and The White Princess. It's like a series on BBC of, 1500s, and it's, Henry VIII, and it's Edward, and it's all those, but these guys, but most of it is English. To be an English king, you're ridiculous because you're killed off in like 6 months because there's a big war of I'm the rightful king. But the reason I brought it up is they wear their crowns in battle. They're like
it's like a target.
What are you doing, dude? Well, there he is. I don't get it. So Biggie, maybe that's it. You wear the crown and go, okay.
You had the crown. You're the target. But Dave, what do you collect? What are some of the things that you collect? And is there anything that you get kind of fanatical about?
I do really stupid stuff. I mean, I collect watches, of course, but I don't collect them. I everything that I get, I wear or use.
You can wear them. It's still a collection.
What am I looking at here? I should take a picture of this for everybody. I've got, there's 150 swatches on the wall right here.
Swatch watches?
Swatch watches that I wore. And so they're worth nothing. And some of them are super collectible. I got the Harajuku, I've got the Shibuya, I got these watches that are like super collectible, but I wore them. So they're definitely devalued. But I love collecting them, and it's just stuff I like. But I'll tell you what I'm an idiot about, because I collect books. I'm fanatical about books. I have die casts. You can probably see up there, maybe, I don't know, but I've got every Porsche race car in scale. Like all over the place. And but model car stuff, like the detail stuff, like photo etch things and parts to make the car more realistic. And
Right.
this, people are going to go, Dave's so cool, and now he's not.
He's a model car guy.
I'll be in Japan, and I'm at Model Factory Hero, and they're so cool to me. And literally, they've got just drawers of photo etch sheets, and I buy like 30 of them, and they're all like $20. And I put down, you know, $500 worth of photo etch things, and I get home, and I've already got like 5 of them. Like, oh shit, I just bought the same one over. Because I get like hyperventilating. Go, I gotta have this. What if I don't have it? And I get up, and the smart guy and the really nerdy guy would bring a running like total on here or what you already have. Nah, I figure I'll sell it on eBay and make more. I don't know.
There you go. You brought it in from Japan.
But I get it, and then the irony of the whole thing is I'm so busy with all this other shit that I don't build them. I just sit there and have all the pieces to do it. I could make the most amazing model right now.
Well, you hit on something that a lot of collectors run into, and I'm one of them, who we collect things, but we collect them because they make us feel good with the aspirational outlook that we're going to actually come back and do something with it, or we're going to display it. I mean, I collect so many things, and I have this incredible matchbook collection. And at one time, I had a 3-foot tall, hand-blown glass, beautiful bottle that I would drop them in. And when I moved, it got broken. And I was so bummed because it was just, you could look at them through the glass. Of course, there was ones you couldn't. But Dave, this collection now is in, you know, like plastic bins, Ziploc shut. And I want to get it. How do you display that? You know, because a lot of these go back to the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And some of them I inherited because people would hear that I collected them and they'd send them to me. And there's some really cool, you know, automotive ones from like car dealerships. But my father, who worked, you know, we've talked about it on the show before, who worked in Vegas back in its heyday, he would bring home matchbooks from all the casinos, all the clubs, all of those.
Because I used to get matchbooks everywhere.
Oh yeah,
I love that, man.
Matchbooks and swizzle sticks.
Yeah, I used to. But I do matchbooks from everywhere, bars, restaurants, everywhere. You know,
I would get them everywhere I went.
Yeah,
and now cool. Nobody has them.
Yeah, you know who has them? And if I recommend, if you're staying in Detroit, stay at the Shinola Hotel, and they have matchbooks. You know, the square matchbooks with Shinola on them. I grabbed like
one place. You know, one place.
Well, I know, but they get it. You know, it's cool.
Right. But that's one of the things. I mean, I collect watches. I have a huge watch collection, as you know, and it ranges from, I've got Rolexes and I've got, you know, my own, but I also have like Lone Ranger watches. And
I've got that shit too.
You know,
I've got a Mao watch that I bought in Tiananmen Square because the guy kept following me going, buy a watch. And I go, fucking I'll buy a watch. Sure, why not? But I've got the set of Giugiaro design Seikos. He made those original 4 of the metals. I've got those. The ones that are offset. I've got all those. But my watches, I've got, you know, the store display case. It holds 10, 12. And it's these long display cases that are clear. And what I found out is, like, my wall is green and they're clear, but the watches hang on it. So they're all on a green background, and it's really cool.
Oh, no, that sounds
really organized. So it's, you know, they're only like that thick, the cases. But yeah, I mean, and that's a great way to display it. And to me, I was looking at these when you said that you literally, looking at these, you could put matches in there. I mean, you could put them all in there and have them lined up.
Take those fucking swatches down and let me put matches
let's do it, man.
Hey, but
it looks really
no,
cool.
And I mean, we've seen some incredible car collections. And again, my cars are spread out all over because I don't have a huge giant building that I can put them all in one place. But everybody collects something different. We both collect art. We both collect books. I have a lot of first editions. And there again, my freaking first editions that are signed are in plastic in boxes because I'm afraid something's going to happen to them. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I need to put them out where I can enjoy them at least.
When you mentioned that, I'm getting the new garage door, and I did the whole garage eBay cleaning we talked about last episode. Literally, I get so many posters, and I do my own posters. I have so many posters, and I think, oh man, that's the coolest poster ever. It's like Rensport, or something from 20 years ago, or the first one, or whatever. And you look at these and go, man, I can't get rid of that, but what am I going to do with it?
I know.
It's it's just like at some point I have to just go, oh, okay.
I had along that lines, back when I owned Boyd's, I did billboards at one time, and it had a Luma coupe on it, and I designed these. And when we were doing them, I asked the guys, I go, can I get one of those, please? And so I have a billboard, the paper, and for the longest time in my garage, the one end has cathedral ceilings, and I had it up there, and it looked so cool. But when I started working on cars in there, I'm like going, I don't want anything to happen to that. So now it's, rolled up in a closet, and it's like,
I find that a lot of that stuff, posters like the posters that I had growing. I just found a picture of me that I mentioned, and I'll give a shameless plug. Acura is doing an Acura podcast. Johnny Queta is the brand manager, and he's doing a podcast of Acura, the Team Acura. And I think the first episode will come out in a couple weeks, maybe, or maybe it already did. I don't know. Anyway, and the second episode is me, but I, literally all those posters and all that stuff, and you can, like, in the picture that I put up for it, you can see in my room, I had all those Paul Oxman posters. Remember all those that?
Yeah.
They're repopping those, and you can get them at the Peterson. So it's kind of like, if I ever want one, I'll just go buy I print my own or something. Copyright to be damned. But I have, the weird thing is I have so much of my own artwork that I don't know why I'm narcissistic about it, but I don't need it. Like, what am I going to do with my own artwork? I already did it. And I got
well, what we're going to do with your own artwork, but you got to get off your duff. So
I guess that's true. Once we're non-COVID. Yeah, let's get rid of it all. I'm in that mood. But yeah, it's funny because like even Joey that does all of Seinfeld's restorations, I have these posters. I got all the stuff. I said, Joe, you got big giant shop. Do you want some artwork for the walls other than the stuff I've already given you? And he goes, I got so much shit up in the attic there in the shop that I haven't put up. I just don't. And anything. Everybody does that, right?
The thing about collecting, let's get away from what we do. Let's talk about it more because our listeners listen and they all collect as well. And the thing about it is when I look at some people, we see them on TV, we see them on these specials. Some of these people get, just fanatical about it. I mean, we've seen the women that collect Hello Kitty and their entire world that surrounds them is Hello Kitty, and
exactly.
But there's guys that do that with watches. There's guys that do it with cars. Right.
There's a guy at Honda that one time he collects like Tamika in Japan.
Yes.
So he doesn't go to Japan all that much, but when he goes, there's certain like little die-cast stores you can collect Tamika, and I shit you not, he went to one of those stores and got out like 40 of them of the same car to see which one was the best wheel, and he missed his flight because he was there too long and he didn't make it to the airport.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fanatical. I know guys, remember back in the the 1990s, a lot of guys really got into die-cast collecting, but it wasn't, Dave, what you collect is more real high-end, nice, authentic. Remember, they were collecting anything. The drag racing teams were a very good example. They were running cars at every race with different paint schemes so that they could sell a different die cast. They would sell every single one. Action collectibles. But I knew guys that would go to Toys R Us. That used to be a store that existed, everyone. It was
Hot Wheels, man. Hot Wheels at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Push little kids out of the way to get in.
And go to the Hot Wheels or go to the Plain Mantis, Johnny Lightning cars, and get all these. I actually almost fell into that. When the Johnny Lightning cars came out and they were doing all these cool like music editions and they had Kiss and all these, and then they had cars that were Christmas themed and stuff. And I started going in and buying, like, I'm going to buy the whole case of them, And I bought about 3 cases, and all of a sudden I went, what the hell am I going to do with these? And to this day, they're sitting in a closet at my house. And I'm so glad that I stopped buying those, because it's like, what do you do with them? What are you going to do? But one of the things that is very universal around the world, it is, there's, so many people, is vinyl records.
Oh, dude. It's gone crazy.
And they died for a while, and now they're coming back. There's there's vinyl record stores where you can go and buy stuff. And where are you at on vinyl? Do you have any vinyl? Do you have a collection?
Yeah, I've got a ton, and most of what I kept, I got rid of a lot of a Cuba or maybe whatever, but I kept, like, I have a Who's Next that was the original cover where they had peed on it, and I have like the day it came out, because I lived by Tower. I lived within the Tower, and so we, you'd camp out in front. Speaking of like running in and getting the latest greatest, but I never bought 45s. I was never that guy. It was I'm old enough where I just dove right into albums instead. But I have maybe 50 that are all pre-70s probably, or at least pre-75, and have just kept them. And yeah, but I have the Sony turntable that goes out, that one, so you can put it in a shelf and it comes out, you can put it on. But the micro Seikis are that. I'm not into getting like a super expensive vinyl thing, because I don't do it enough. But I get it. I get the idea of going to CDs, but as soon as you could do, MP3s, put it on here, it's like, I don't need any of that shit, man. And they go, but the sound's so much better. I'm like, yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, I listen to the majority of my music, but as you know, I have a huge vinyl collection. I mean, ginormous vinyl collection, and it is so wide, and it's it's everything from Thelonious Monk to punk. I mean, and it's not
Punk.
Thelonious Monk, yes. And the thing is that I've got to hand it to a relative of mine. He was a mailman, and every Friday when he got paid, he would go down, and he started in the 60s. And when he bought an album, he wouldn't just buy the album. He would buy the import version. He would buy the long play 33.
You got that extra, it's like in the director's cut.
Yeah, if it came in, pressed in gold or pressed in red, he would do it. And it is phenomenal what's in this record collection. And I combine that with mine, and it's like crazy. I would say a third of the collection I've still never listened to. And it's phenomenal, because it's like discovering things all the time. And you know, putting on the album is kind of a hassle because you got to get out the dishwasher and, you know, get the dust off of it and all that. But man, when you crank up those horns and get it playing, it is
you
phenomenal.
know, it's funny because my memory, I had dug out that picture of me in my room, and I said when I said it that I literally, this is kind of the quintessential picture of me because there's car posters. You can see a Ferrari model on the shelf. There's books everywhere, and the posters are on wallpaper that was the Washington crossing the Delaware, the signing of the Declaration. It's like historical wallpaper. This is when I was, and I'm playing a record, and my first memory that I looked at when I looked at that picture was that I had Cosmo's Factory Creams, and I played it so much, and I'd leave it out, and the sun would hit it, and it was warped like this, and it would play like this. And at one point, I thought I should put Hot Wheels on it and let them run, see if they can do it while it's spinning around. But yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. I go, I remember that Cosmos Factory album when it was just like.
It is amazing. You know, we get so into music that's played and kind of presented to us that when you actually put an album on and you go, whoa, wait a minute, they have some other cool songs, because you only know some of these bands for the songs you're familiar with.
That's the problem with now is it's instantaneous and you don't have any thread throughout the whole album.
Right.
And you don't have you don't really get that like journey. You go, wow, what were they thinking when they wrote this? You know, because like Led Zeppelin 3, you're like, oh my God, this is all over the map. It's like,
yeah,
it's cool.
But it's all good, you know.
It's awesome.
It's like, do you ever listen to the Replacements?
Yeah, once in a while.
I love the Replacements, and their stuff is kind of like that. A lot of got a thread, but it's very different, but it's all good, and it's really good stuff.
Cool dude.
But and I think people are rediscovering vinyl. They did before the pandemic. Now they're at home and they're going, hey, wait a minute. What's this in the back of this closet?
Yeah, well, they're all doing the same thing we're doing. It's like, wow, I could clear out some space. Wait a minute, what is that? Yeah.
I found 8 tracks and cassettes too, Dave.
I found cassettes today, in fact, and just thought, no.
No, you know what? I just saw online that they're making a thing that looks like a Walkman. And a Walkman, for those that you don't know, is a predecessor to the iPod.
It invented the iPod.
Yes, but no, you put your cassette in there, and in the end, you can plug in a USB, and it converts it as it plays and puts it on the USB, so you can pop it into your MP3 plays. And I have so many cassettes that I might buy one of those.
The ones I saved are the ones are like I have Mott Drive On, and I have one of Johnny and Edgar Winter together live, and they played together with Rick, and I was there, and it was a day on the green, and I can't now I can, but I couldn't find it for the longest time, so I had to keep it on tape, and I'm like, ah, shit, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's some great music that you can't find anymore, but on there you can. The only problem is a lot of times you put those cassettes in to play them, and it eats them. or it does that chatter thing. It goes.
Yeah, I used to be really good at repairing that, but now I have no idea how to get the Scotch tape out and fix it.
Or you get the first you got to get the pencil, put it in and wind it all back up, you know, and
run it back,
thread it back, and
and it's all crimped. But yeah.
Hey, okay, let's move on. Collecting, it's a great thing, and you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll twist Dave's arm, have him get a photo of his Swatch watches and a photo of something else that he collects, and we'll put that up, and I'll put up some shots of my albums and some of the other things that I collect. I probably will not put a shot of the gold bars that I collect up, though. So.
Or I'm not going to take a picture of Biggie's crown. You can see it online.
Yeah, I know. That'd just be bragging. And I'm not going to tell anybody that in my guest bedroom, underneath the floor where the floorboard hooks up, there's that box where I store 50 million in gold bullion. So we're not even going to mention it. It's not recording, is it, Dave?
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Okay, I got it.
Realistically, after the show.
Oh, but I don't want to forget.
Hey, this is our new segment. One of our new segments. We brought up one recently where it was a feature. We did Ryan Reynolds, and but this one is called "Fucking Historic Shit."
Not physically.
No.
Historic shit.
This is just fucking historic shit, man.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't know if everyone remembers, but in the 90s, Steve Madden, he was the shit. Man, he was selling so many shoes. Madden shoes were off the hook. I mean, they were crazy. Did you ever have any Madden shoes?
Yeah, I still do.
There you go.
I've got 3 pairs probably.
But I mean, he was like a high fashion brand found in the best stores in New York and Los Angeles and Paris. And
he kind of started the high-end sneaker thing to me.
Yeah. And he was men and women. Yeah. And it all kind of came toppling down on a morning in 2000, though. And and have you seen the film Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
I love it. I love that film. And he is, portrayed in there. But it all came down because he was a big part of financing that pump and dump that they were doing. They would get this boiler room going and get people calling and telling guys, no, you buy this, it's going to go up, it's going to go up. Well, it would go up because they were selling it, and then they would dump all their ownership. And so...
And they pay for investment in the shoes, which I was okay with. In the scheme of things, it's not like I bought a yacht. He was still putting the money back into, of course he bought a yacht, but he still put money back into the, I want to build this shoe business. It was crazy, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but and he did. They created $1 billion shoe company, but the problem was it was created not with, Wall Street money. Well, it was Wall Street money, but not through traditional channels.
Yeah.
And that came back to haunt him in 2000 when the feds came and raided his place, and it all came toppling down. And
I love that though, where the FBI came to his apartment, and he had another apartment upstairs, and he was there. He wasn't even home when they came. They were like, what? We're gonna arrest. Where is he? It's like, because he had his apartment was on the 3rd floor or something. And he had like a office apartment on the 8th floor, and he wasn't home when they came.
He was a few stories up in the and slept through the whole thing of them raiding his apartment and everything like that. It's just like one of these things where, how some people just have that charmed life that surrounds them. I don't know.
Not Charlie Brown.
And they used to call him Stratton Oakmont, the company that Wolf of Wall Street was all based on, and the guy who founded it, he's called him the cobbler. He didn't call him the shoe company guy. Called him the cobbler.
The cobbler. I love that. Man.
That was like
cobbler shoes. Oh, it's Steve Madden.
But
or he eats a lot of dessert. One of the two.
Then he'd be the apple cobbler or the peach cobbler.
He'd be called the peach. Then you'd think he's from Georgia, so that would be all.
But he spent like 2.5 years in prison for that, right?
Yeah, which seems not very long in the scheme of things.
And how much you want to bet if you looked into it? It was probably one of those upstate New York country club prisons.
Prison. Yeah, it was probably in Florida.
I don't know. It's
you have skulls on your chalkboard behind you?
Yes, I do. Those are, I have right there, I have rate today. And I have a happy skull, and I have a not so happy skull, and I have a very angry skull.
Okay.
So
good.
as you see, he's happy today.
Yeah, good. That's good.
I put that right above the light switch, so when I come in, I go, "What's today gonna be?" Right there, baby. So
when you leave.
Oh. Doesn't matter when I leave. I'm leaving. So, but no. Hey, we tell you this because there's a lot of, I call it pop history, man, and the Wolf of Wall Street. You got to dive deeper, deeper and deeper, way past, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and I think Steve Madden's book called The Cobbler is something really good. And for you lazy folks, you can now get all these books on, where you can listen to them. And I do a lot of that while I'm walking and working out. And
Audible.com.
It's a great way to go. But
Nico's good at playing those like famous characters that are skeptical.
Yes, scallywags.
That's it.
But I don't know. It's really interesting to me. Having taken a company public of mine, I look at it and I go, no, they said I couldn't do anything like that, and they tell you. And then the guys who just go around the system and just really work it to their benefit, they make all the money.
Will do it. I have my mom do it, and I'll get a friend to kind of buy in. Yeah,
I tried to get Dave to do it, and he wouldn't do it. We were gonna call him the artist.
Stewart asked me to.
Just think, you could have had a book right now called The Artist.
The Brush.
The Art Boy. You would have got out of prison by now, and you.
Well, it would have been Tony at Rockies, the owner of Rockies. He said, somebody asked him, "What does Dave do?" And he goes, "He colors."
He colors.
So I'd be the colorer.
Hey, Dave, I think I got something for next show. And when we come back for the next show, do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I must.
Why must you?
So I've been told.
I like the way your voice changed there.
What planet are you from, kind of thing? Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're going to delve into that.
They found diamonds on a planet, didn't they?
Pardon me?
This week they found, they believe some planet in the Milky Way is made, consists of 80% diamonds because of crushed coal, and they figured out that it's probably 80% of the like magma and crust is diamond. And they
think there's life there?
Well, they think that there's diamonds.
Well, if there's diamonds, there's probably some coolers there.
Probably, or you think there's probably didn't they just say that Venus their atmosphere has some potential that there was living organisms in the atmosphere, whatever it was.
We hear it all the time. There was in some 35 million light years from here, a suitable planet that's very similar to ours, has two moons, all that.
Earth 2, Earth 3.
Let's hold that. Let's table that for the next Man 6 adventure. And let's wrap up episode 90. We had a great cocktail. It's gone.
Wow.
We had a great time. And I think the next time we come back, episode 91, it'll be out of this world. How do you like that? So, hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. Man 6 Adventure. Find us online at man6adventure.com. As we told you at the top of the show, please give us a 5-star rating. Give us a comment, positive or negative. It helps either way. But be sure that you like us on iTunes. And go to our Instagram at Man6Adventure. You'll get lots of bonus material. You'll see photos of Dave's watches. You'll see photos of Dave. And
Brad.
And we're always putting something up, going someplace, doing something, giving recommendations, giving you cocktails. So go there and check it out. It's all there. You can find me, Bradley_Fanshaw on Instagram. Go there and like that. And, when you're all done liking, then you can go love Dave. Love Dave at David W. Marek.
Yeah, or not.
He's the only guy on Instagram that has a love button.
Yeah. Do I? Wow.
If I was a great hacker, I'd make sure that my Instagram page had a love button, not a
How
like.
about that, man? Yeah, and I, I have a Instagram guy. His name is Brad. Yeah, I should be better about that. I just don't know. Anyway.
I know.
All right,
I'm always
yeah,
taking up photos, putting them on the Man Seeks Adventure.
Yeah, you're amazing.
You got to send me more because I'm running out. Man. I'm running low.
Okay, I'll do a dump.
Okay, we're out of here. We're gonna come back. We will have another show next week, another drink, and some more great talk. Thanks for supporting Man Seeks Adventure. We'll see ya. We're out of here.